Hey, everybody, it's tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're about to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Bethenny Frankel. Well, Bethenny and her highly powered lawyers, they are wedging a war against Bravo, and it has the Bravo universe in an uproar. So much so that the Bravo universe is split down the middle, so to speak. There are people that are Team Bravo, there are people that are Team Bethenny, and the people that are Team Bravo is saying Bethenny Frankel got the nerve. She is pissing, and I'm changing the word, people. She is pissing on the house that made her. Pissing on the house that built her. They're saying if it wasn't for Bravo, Bethenny might still be in your local supermarket selling cookies. But because of Bravo, she was able to build that skinny girl brand up to what it is to this day. And at some point, she sold a portion of it for $100 million. And on that note, a lot of the Bravo celebrities are saying that, you know what, no matter how this war ends up, Bethenny will come out on top because she has the money, the finances, and the influence to still live her life without, even if she burns a bridge. But they're saying if they burn the bridge, they could potentially starve because they don't have the money that Bethenny has in their bank account. So they're saying Bethenny is tagging their name to a lot of her conversations, but a lot of these Bravo celebrities are like, I didn't speak to Bethenny. I didn't say I was Team Bethenny. Why? Because many of them are still getting a check from Bravo or trying to get back in good with Bravo so that they can get a check from Bravo once again. And that's why, although many of them probably do agree with Bethenny and her message, they're like, listen, don't tag me to that, okay? Because I can't afford to blow up this bridge. I can't afford to blow up these ties with Bravo and NBC Universal. Now, if you happen to win your war, I'll connect to the benefits. But as you going through the war, they're like, I don't want to be a soldier in that party because I can't afford to be. Now, listen, guys, we're going to get more into this Bethenny situation right after this. All right, guys, I'm gonna go right away and share this screen with y'all. Let's get into this Bethenny Frankel story, okay? So Bethenny Frankel is boasting she will bring down Bravo, and many of the Bravo people, the people that are Team Bravo, are saying that Bethenny is shitting. Okay, I'll say it this once on the house that made her. Okay, so listen, guys. Ever since Bethenny Frankel launched her war on NBC, Universal, and Bravo with bombshell claims that the reality stars are manipulated, given bulls, okay, and are victims of revenge porn, tongues have been wagging about who is supporting the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, New York star, and who is Team Bravo. So they're pretty much saying, listen, we need to know up front. Are you Team Bravo? Are you Team Bethenny? Okay. So this thing is getting really, really nasty behind the scenes. Overwhelmingly, it seems like people are behind Bravo, especially current cast members. After all, why bite the hand that feeds you? And many people feel that way. See, here's the thing. A lot of these Bravo celebrities, they would have been, and this is for lack of a better word, so to speak, they would have been average everyday workers at the local Target, Walmart, this, that, and the other. Although Bravo started out saying that they wanted to show us behind the scenes, behind the gates of the rich and famous and people that just had money busting out the scenes, when they went to cast these individuals, the one percenters, so to speak, they was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need nobody to know that who I am and that I have this type of money. So a lot of people that have that type of money, you don't know who they are. And they don't want you to know who they are. Why? Because they don't want to become targets. They don't want people coming and say, "Oh, I'm going to go rob them." Oh, they have 17 cars. Oh, they have all this money in the bank. Oh, they can buy whatever they want and go on these lavish vacations when they just wake up and say they want to go. Those type of people do not want the average person to know that they're rolling in the dough like that. And they don't care about fame. So that's why when Bravo went to go cast them, they was like, nah, we good. I don't want to be on no show. I don't need to be famous. I don't want people knowing what's in my house and about my real life. They were good. So Bravo had to pivot. And when they pivot, they started getting people that really wasn't living behind the gates, that really didn't have that type of money, who were actually struggling, and they just put up a lot of fronts on the TV to pretend that they had it like that. And if you notice, half of the housewives are not even married. But I digress, and let's continue on here, okay? So last week, Frankel, along with the powerhouse attorneys, sent a stinging legal letter to a former TV network alleging gross text and deprived mistreatment, including giving cast members alcohol and depriving them of food and sleep, denying mental health treatment to cast members, and covering up acts of sexual violence. This was a lot. This was a lot. They no joke. They accused a lot of things in that legal letter. So no lawsuit has happened as of yet, but they just sent the letter, and that letter was to say, don't destroy emails, don't try to do no cover-ups, don't destroy any past footage, because we are perhaps about to come for y'all, and we want to make sure when we come, everything we looking for, you're not going to all of a sudden say, oh, we don't have no more emails, we had an accident, water spilled on the computer. None of that. They're giving you a warning. Do not destroy anything, okay? So the Skinny Girl Mobile is also trying to organize a union for unscripted TV performers akin to Actors Guild SAG, which is currently striking, and which this week was in touch with her. So now it's my understanding, and this makes sense to me, right? She wants to form a union similar to SAG, but for reality TV stars, for the people who are stars on these unscripted shows, right? Okay, so that makes sense. According to Frankel, she has over 80 reality TV personalities in her camp, or who have reached out to her for more details of the lawsuit, which has not been filed yet in the proposed union. So see, that changes things a little, right? It sounds very sensational when you say, oh, she got 80 people behind her. No, there are 80 people, and within that 80 people, some of them are just calling her to say, okay, tell me more about this so I can let you know if I want to join. Okay, but others are saying that, hold on, I don't know why she tagged me in this fight, because I never spoke to Bethenny. And maybe they did speak to her, but now they're backing down. I don't know, but I do know that is part of what is happening, right? And again, let me say this. I wholeheartedly believe that 99.9% that was in that letter that they're accusing Bravo of, that yeah, it's true. And why do I wholeheartedly believe that? For instance, you have the example of this particular thing that happened at Below Deck Down Under, where a cast member went into the room of a male cast member, went into the room of a sleeping female cast member. And when he went into that room uninvited, he went into that room with no clothes on. Okay. And so part of this letter that Bethenny fired off said, listen, sexual violence and all kind of stuff like that. Now they broke the fourth wall, the production team, and caught this member and told on this particular cast member that did it. He got fired, but I think they broke the fourth wall because of all the heat against NBC Universal and Bravo now, and they don't want to get caught up in that spun tail, so to speak, once everything starts to go down. But I believe this is not an isolated situation, that this has happened in the past, and in the past nobody said anything. That's just my thought process on that. So her accusations were followed by this week by an explosive incident on Below Deck Down Under, which saw cast member Luke Jones fired when he entered a sleeping Margaret's bunk without clothes or permission, prompting a production member to break the fourth wall and intervene. And thank God he did, because who knows what Luke was going to do? Who knows if Luke was drunk? Not an excuse, but you don't know what happened, okay? And then somebody said, Luke talking about, can you hold off for a second? And they're like, no, 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 no. What are you doing in there? Okay. Now, page 6 can state that the astonishing behind the scenes flying between members of a string of shows in the wake of Frankel's claims, accusing her of being ungrateful and hypocritical. They're saying that she is pissing on the house that made her, one source said. Frankel famously sold part of her Skinny Girl company for $100 million during her 8-year Housewives run, and triggered the so-called Bethenny clause in future contracts, giving Bravo a cut of cast member profits because of how much money she made. So pretty much before Bethenny Frankel, Bravo was not taken and did not really care about, if the housewives had some type of business venture. It was their business. But once because they're greedy, and I don't know too many employers who are not greedy. Okay, if you look at any business, the top executives, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Okay, and the little people are begging for a dollar raise. It's like you beg for a dollar raise, they want to tell you, oh, it's not in the budget. Oh, it's not in the budget, but the CEO is making $23 million a year. Oh, it's not in the budget, but the CEO makes a bonus of millions of dollars a year, and my little $30,000 salary, and y'all can't give me a dollar raise, but I'm the one here doing all the brunt work for you. So all of these people up top is just, it's called American greed. American greed. So that particular part is not isolated to Bravo. It goes across pretty much every business where the top execs are making all the money and they sitting at their desk chilling for the most part, some of them, not all of them. And then you down there, you unpacking boxes falling on your head, you getting injuries, your hands, fingers getting cut. You don't get to see your kids during Christmas dinner because you got to work extra hours, and then you got to beg for $1 or $2 raise. Stop. It's a mess. Across the board, all of these businesses need to be stopped. But I digress. Let's carry on, right? So that's how they got the Bethenny clause, because once they found out she sold that thing for $100 million, and they wanted a piece of it. So everybody in the future now has to give Bravo, for any business they promote on Bravo, a piece of the pie. Okay. On RH, on one RH source, Snipe, that Frankel would have, and that RH's Real Housewives source, Snipe, that Frankel would still be selling cookies in the supermarket if it wasn't for appearing on the Housewives, referring to one of Frankel's first business endeavors, Bethenny Bakes. Okay, so if you go back to the beginning stages when Bethenny Frankel was on the Real Housewives in New York, they did show her in the supermarket pushing her cookies that she had baked, right? And trust me, she wouldn't have, as just the average person, got into a supermarket being able to sell her cookies like that. She got in there because of Bravo, okay? And most times you see, like, if you go to if you have those big box stores like Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, all of those, you'll see that there's people in there that will give you samples, and they're giving you samples of products that are already out there, and they're kind of like big name products, but they're trying to push that product for the week, so they give you a sample to taste it. Bethenny didn't even have her company, Bethenny Bakes, and she was in there as a startup, pushing her cookies. And so they're saying, boo boo, you're biting the hand that feeds you. Now, Bethenny, in this whole section right here, when she spoke on her Instagram page, I will say this, she made a very good point. And what she said in this here is, she said, the time for talk is over. This is a reality check. The reality reckoning is cook she said it's cool until it's not cool. Like many other movements, and like the ocean, things feel calm until the big set of waves comes, and you're better able to, ride them out or get out the way. Things bubble underneath the surface. People and big businesses take advantage and pushes until someone has the courage to push back. So she said more there, but let me pretty much say I get what she's saying, right? Because I was asleep, and while I was asleep, and I don't mean literally sleep, but understand what I'm trying to say. Because I was asleep, and while I was asleep, you was taking advantage of me and doing me dirty, and now I'm woke. I got no matter if I woke up 2 years later, 3 years later, 5 years later, or 10 years later, I have the right, once I wake up, to say, okay, wait a minute. Now that I'm out here in the world, I see this whole time you was doing me dirty. You was taking advantage of me. This ain't right. This is messed up. And I want change. So she's saying it doesn't matter when you wake up. Woke is woke. And now I'm woke. I'm going to let you know that I'm awoke. Okay. So another source said the brash businesswoman is bragging at parties in the Hamptons that she is going to bring down Bravo and not to cross her. So Bethenny, I think she has first of all, she got a big mouth, right? And I think she has this I am queen, I am the one complex. Like every time a situation goes down, you hear Bethenny on one of her social media platforms ranting and just going off like she's the authority on the thing. And there's this such thing as right message, wrong messenger. And I feel like with this Bravo fight, Bethenny got the right message, but she's the wrong messenger. But that is just my thought on it. Y'all can let me know yours, right? As they said, the scare tactic is not going over well, according to multiple housewives, right? So the fact that Bethany is it, there's another saying that says you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. And there's another saying that says you never tell the right hand what the left hand is doing. So Bethany at parties in the Hamptons bragging that she's about to bring Bravo down, that's just insanity. Why go around bragging about it? Just hold your cards. Go under the radar. Be like Kathy Hilton. Silence is golden. Shut your mouth. Just do what you got to do. But you don't know, as you're bragging at these parties in the Hamptons, who else you're pissing off. Anyway, let's continue. Franco has tagged a series of stars, giving the impression that they are her supporters. Among them is Paige, Tom, Stassi, Hannah, and cast members from The Real Housewives, Love is Blind, Below Deck, and Vanderpump Rules, and from beyond the Bravo universe. Okay, Jennifer, J. Woo, from what is that? What is that darn show? And stars of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. J. Rue is from Jersey Shore, okay, which is not even on Bravo, but she's claiming that, these people are backing her. Page 6 reached out to those tagged, and with some exceptions, either didn't receive a response or were told no comment. Franco, too, declined to be interviewed through her publicist, okay? So a lot of people are backing away from her. A close source to DeSorbo maintained that she has not spoken to Franco and has untagged herself from the post. One fan of Franco who did speak is Jay Wool of Jersey Shore fame, who told Page 6, I love Bethenny and think she's absolute force. We haven't spoken about this specific topic, but I understand her passion. Jay Wool is not a Bravo celebrity. Jersey Shore and its subsequent spin-offs on MTV, which is owned by Paramount. See, here's the other thing. All of these networks, they're somehow, some way connected. So when you wage a war against one, you're really waging a war probably against half or even more of Hollywood indirectly, right? All of us have different experiences with filming, production, contracts, and compensation. But I do very much agree everyone should be able to feel like they are compensated for their work, regardless of the field you work in, she said. But it seems like many past and present Bravo celebrities aren't on board and are confused by Frankel's hostility. Dorinda Bentley of Real Housewives of New York told Page 6, my experience has been positive. I've been a part of the network for nearly 10 years, and I love getting to share my journey with the viewers, okay? So Dorinda is saying pretty much not my circus, not my fight. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Candy Burris, also stated that she's not joining Frankel. Burris said, it wouldn't make any sense for me to be a part of that. To me, if I'm working with somebody and I feel like they're not doing something that they should be doing, I address it right then. Another former Real Housewives of Miami star, Leah Black, who appeared in seasons 1 through 3 of the franchise, is shocked by Frankel's rabble rousing, she said. Okay. So Bethenny likes to be the hero, Black exclusively told Page Six, but she should be grateful. She made a ton of money and became very influential because of her association with Bravo, which nobody can deny that, right? She said, I can't even wrap my head around anyone being so ungrateful for the opportunity that they want to sue the person that gave it to them. And while messages and DMs are furiously flying from coast to coast, trying to uncover the truth behind some of Frankel's more salacious allegations, it is the reality TV podcasters and influencers who are having a field day with the claims. Okay. So they talk about people like me, the bloggers. Okay. So Tom, being a part of Bethenny's war on Bravo makes sense, the Instagrammer said. Tom completely took over. It was everywhere. CNN, Time, Rolling Stone. Tom's reputation suffered for a month or two. He felt like one of the most hated men in America. You know what's so incredibly interesting? The way this Tom thing went down. But I think that with people, once they like someone, no matter who that personality is, they will be team that person hands down. This Tom situation happens in everyday life with between couples, right? Listen, you could find people on the street where their man ended up with their girlfriend, or you have a guy who maybe their wife or their girlfriend ended up with one of their best friends. So this situation happens like in everyday life, and it was shocking the amount of hate that Tom and Rachel got. And listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that what they did wasn't wrong. I was shocked at the hate because, nowadays the side chicks, they seem to win. But in this case, the side chick did not prevail. Okay, so the ratings skyrocketed, and Bravo had marquee ads playing during the reunion and were essentially making bait, the source continued. So Tom most likely wants a cut, since it was his reputation and his life at the center of it all. What does Tom have to lose at this point? As for allegations of Bravo showing revenge porn or allowing it to be shared among castmates, another blogger said points to a few possible on-air incidents, like Raquel from Vanderpump Rules, who was part of Tom's love triangle with Ariana. Raquel sent a cease and desist letter to the cast asking them to stop sharing and delete any intimate FaceTime video of her recorded by Tom. The letter was referenced on air. Another candidate that where there was an incident with Gretchen Rossi from the Real Housewives of Orange County during season 5, where explicit photos of her were shared without permission by her castmates, the Instagram record. The racy photos showed Rossi topless with a vibrator and perched on a toilet seat with her pants slid down. They too were part of the storyline on air. So it gets crazy on these reality shows, right? Bravo backers see this week's Below Deck under firings, as well as naked crewmate Jones, a second cast member, Laura, was fired for inappropriate sexual advances as evidence of the network practicing what it preaches. But it's probably practicing what it preaches now because they know they're under fire and they're under a microscope. But what they're saying is that y'all practice what y'all preach over the last 10 to 15 or 20 years. So NBC Universal is committed to making a safe and respectful workplace for cast and crew on reality shows. And NBC Universal spokesperson said, at the outset, we require our third-party production partners to have appropriate workplace policies and training in place. If complaints are brought to our attention, we work with our production partners to ensure that timely, appropriate action is or has been taken, including investigations, medical and/or psychological support, and other remedial action that may be warranted, such as personnel changes. Okay, so they're claiming, listen, When we know about these things, we do the right thing. But whatever, of course, reality TV ratings and popularity are, they thrive on messy meltdowns, bitchy catfights, and over the top behavior, especially for the housewives. Some of the talents are saying they felt they are being exploited. Real Housewives of a man, Miami Black acknowledged, well, if the producers put out champagne and you drank 4 bottles, it's not their fault. Now, listen, guys, we can have long conversations about this, and I will agree with her. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink. So you can have a whole open bar. I'm not going to partake in it. Okay. If you get into a cat fight with another cast member and act unbecomingly, that's not their fault. Facts. That's facts. I agree. In fact, they know that the more outrageous they are, the more attention they get, Black continue, and the more attention they get, the bigger following they get. So this is the point I was trying to make. You want to play the game when it's beneficial to you, but now you want to say, oh, they was wrong. They was wrong, but you participated in it. Okay. So, and if life is as simple as because you see it before you, you're gonna partake in it, I'll continue. And then they think they made it big time and now they can demand bigger salaries. And there's nothing wrong with that. But nobody put a GUN to their head and made them misbehave. I agree. A casting director who has worked on several Bravo shows agrees that reality TV performers need to take accountability for their actions. I'm not in disagreement with that at all. Some people want to blame editing for their bad behavior, but they aren't making up what you're doing, even with creative editing, the sources said. However, the insider does believe that the industry needs more guardrails across the board, not just at NBC Universal. Again, I agree with that comment too. Reality TV performers are at the bottom of the totem pole, the source described. Okay, Bethenny made be pissing on a house that made her a star, but at least she's putting a spotlight on some of these issues. No one with a real soapbox was standing up for reality TV, and she is. Okay, arguably another housewife, Needy Leak, has already gone head to head with NBC Universal, filing a lawsuit against Andy Cohen and Bravo on April 22, accusing them of creating a hostile work environment that fostered racially offensive behavior. However, that August, leaks of the Real Housewives of Atlanta dropped the lawsuit. Cohen and NBC have not commented on it. Okay, the contentious issue inside Bravo world seems to be having Franco as the ringleader of the movement. Not only has Franco profited handsomely from Bravo and still is with her Rewatch podcast, but she also rubs a lot of people the wrong way with her aggressive, in-your-face style, our source said. Kate, formerly of Below Deck, took a shot at Franco in a Saki tweet on Monday that said, I can't wait to watch the Netflix documentary about the exploitation of Skinny Girl. Well, well, well. Okay. And Black, who made a cameo on season 5 of Real Housewives of Miami, urges caution for her reality TV sisters. For someone like Bethenny, you made it. You're at the top and you have money. You can burn some bridges. For some of these girls, this is their one and only real chance at fame and fortune. And if they're burning a bridge, they might not have anything to fall back on. So a lot of good points are made in this particular article. Is Bethenny and should Bethenny be the face of this fight? I get it. She got a mouth on her. I get it. She seems like the most likely person to do this fight, right? And I get it. Ever since Bethenny opened her mouth, it's like it's going like wildfire. It's taking legs and it's running, right? When Nene spoke, it didn't go anywhere. Okay. So they're like, oh, y'all didn't believe Nene, but now everybody's behind Bethenny. Well, there's a lot of things behind that too, right? Why everybody appears to sing behind Bethenny. Now listen, ladies, listen, gentlemen, listen, everybody out there watching. Here's the question for this particular tea time. Is Bethenny the right person to be leading this war against Bravo? Do you think she has the right message? Do you think that, at the end, no matter how this ends up, Bethenny will definitely be on top, but maybe all of the others that are signing with her will crash and burn. So do we have a case of right message, wrong messenger? Or do you believe that Bethenny is the right person with the right message? Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Also, there's a question, a point in this article. Were you forced to do these things? Or when you was doing them, was you enjoying them? When you was getting the followers, getting the fame, getting the notoriety, getting the extra check? But now that you're no longer getting this check, you're like, yeah, it was a problem. Chat with me, guys, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, thanks for watching and welcome back. Listen, guys, I'll see you on the next video.